Hello there, everybody. This is Peter Vekadam, the Village Marketer. And as always, talking to you from my little Thai village, way up here near the Cambodian border. My topic for today, fall in love and make some money. Sanjay, thank you for joining. Fall in love and make some money. Cornelia, hallelujah, okay? That's what I want to talk about today, okay? Because so many people in business, Paul, thank you for joining. Lovely to see you. Where was I? Oh, yeah. People struggle. They struggle in business because they struggle to let themselves be seen and heard. In other words, they work hard and they try to learn from the best. But the problem is many people try to copy other people, and that is crazy. I mean, for example, if you go to a webinar or a seminar or a live event or something, by all means take notes on it. But what most people do not do is when they're taking notes, next to that note, put a comment about how you intend to implement what you just heard or learnt. And when you mean implement it, it means implement it with your personality, your value system, your belief system, your way of doing things. If you did that every time you learned something new, I can tell you, you become an awesome resource very, very quickly. But if you just simply try to copy what you were given, it's never going to work. And when it doesn't work, guess what happens? You lose faith in yourself, you lose confidence, and so you hide, right? And because you think, I can't do this. In other words, you don't believe in the gifts you've got. You don't believe in the strengths that you have. But you are awesome. You are unique. You just have to let yourself believe this, right? And you've got to just take little tiny steps, one step at a time. I better check my comments to make sure. Paul, oh yeah, thank you. Just take little tiny steps, one thing at a time. That's all I'm asking you to do, right? And it's like, for example, if you can just picture this. Here's a quick story for you. Picture this. You've got a diving suit on, right? And you're underwater with a diving suit, and you're in this big cage, really big, strong steel cage, right? And outside this cage are all these little dangling, shiny little hooks, right? With messages on them, right? They're your shiny objects, right? And all these promises of messages, etc., right? And you're in this cage because you don't trust yourself with those shiny messages because you've been caught before. And the other reason you're in this cage because all of a sudden you look over here and here comes this dirty big shark, see, with the teeth snapping, right? That's another reason why you're in the cage, because you've been also caught and really driven into the ground by fraudsters and tricksters and sham artists, etc. So you're in this darn cage, underwater, in your helmet, and you're wondering, what are you going to do with yourself? This is your business we're talking about, in your helmet, hiding from the world, right? Not really prepared to grab any more of those hooks because that's why you're hiding, and you're scared of being caught with the shark. And then all of a sudden, along comes this couple swimming underwater. They don't have any helmets. They've just got a snorkel, okay? And you know darn well they can't be underwater very long, right? And they look and they smile at you. They smile and they come over to the cage and they put their hand out to shake your hand. And you shake their hand and they're just smiling at you. And they're going like this. In other words, come up and talk. What do you think you're going to do? You probably will, right? You'll probably go up to the surface and you'll talk to them. Why? Because they didn't look like a threat to you. Because you knew they weren't going to be underwater very long because they couldn't stay there. And secondly, they didn't have a hook in their mouth. Thirdly, they didn't have big sharp teeth, right? They just look pleasant. They look nice. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is truly the secret of being a successful marketer. If you can present yourself in a way that's non-threatening, right? You don't have the shark's teeth. You don't have the silver hooks hanging out. You just have someone who is nice, who is genuine, who is authentic, and who can actually help you. If you can do that, then your marketing and sales woes are over. That's why I wanted to share that silly little story with you, because it's true. And now when you're thinking about it in your business, right, think of the aspects and why you should fall in love to make money, okay? For example, with content, whether you're creating blog content, video content, podcast, whatever it is, when you do it from your heart. Share the best you can give from your heart. By all means, you can give facts and figures and stuff, okay? But remember, logic opens the mind, but emotion opens the wallet, right? That's never been true. Hey, Robert, thank you for joining. This is very, very true. So the first thing you should do is when you are creating your content, have a person that you're writing to. If you, for example, let's say you're creating a blog post about whatever, have a picture in your mind of the person who is your target audience and write to that person. Actually write to that person and write as if you were talking to them. Have a conversation with them. Let yourself be you. Let them see that you are vulnerable. Let them see that you are fragile. Let them see that you make a mistake. I mean, if you were with me yesterday, you saw a whopper right here, right? Because I had 4 minutes of video with no audio. Ooh, that was a shocker. But if you show that you are vulnerable and fragile, then you can talk about how you can add value. And then you can show your awesomeness because people can then relate to you. If you come on too strong like some darn expert, that's not showing love. You're just darn showing off, right? That's all that is. And people truly get turned off by that. Next bit, messaging. Critical. Now, whether it's messaging on Facebook or on Twitter or Instagram, whatever it is, or whether it's email marketing, same principle. Send from your heart. Every time, and we are blessed on Facebook, for example, when people send a message or comment on your post, you've got what comes with it, their profile picture, right? And it reminds you of them, okay? And never be too busy to just give a moment's thought of the person that you're replying to and write to them. Don't write because you have to. Write to them, share with them, give some emotion. In other words, fall in love. I don't mean you have to marry them, for goodness sake, but fall in love with the fact that you are providing value. Fall in love with your awesomeness. Fall in love with your gifts. Fall in love with your uniqueness. Fall in love with your way to build a relationship. Because if you do that, you will be absolutely contagious, truly contagious, right? And the messaging problems and the content creation problems, all that stuff will disappear because you're just being you. And the same thing applies to prospecting, the thing that people love to hate. And why do they love to hate it? Because people don't like having to ask people all this question, and they feel like cold calling and all that. I mean, no one likes that, right? So get them to come to you. And this is the subject for another video. But the bottom line is this: you can get people to come to you. You truly can. And when they come to you, you focus on one thing. You focus on giving the best you can. Fall in love with your ability to help them. That's what you need to do, okay? Fall in love with your ability to bring value to them, to surprise them with how much you can give them. If you can do that, if you can truly do that, then your prospecting is not going to be a problem, because what you're doing is just simply helping somebody. That's your mindset. And the same thing applies to sales, right? I'll come to that in a minute. The next bit, engagement. Engagement. I've alluded to this before, but if you can be enthusiastic, if you can be authentic, if you can be vulnerable, if you can be a storyteller from the heart, okay? Tell stories that come from your heart, because they are truly, truly wonderful ways to build relationships. Some people tell stories by kicking people in the guts, right? Because they want to shake them up and scare them. And I mean, I really don't believe in that rubbish. I mean, does it work? It does. It does work for a short time only. Thanks for the likes and loves. It does work. It really does. But if you really want to build a long-term relationship, you better not keep kicking people in the guts, right? It's not going to work. I don't care how honest you are with the way you kick them in the guts, right? If you don't show a bit of care and love, they're not going to like you anyway, all right? Because they're just turned off. I mentioned sales in passing. One quick word. Sales, it got nothing to do with selling, okay? Got nothing to do with selling. It's all about a conversation. And here is my simple secret, and many of you have heard this before because I've waxed on this for many, many years. The bottom line, if you want sales success, is to enable the customer to buy. That's all. You enable the customer to buy. It's got nothing to do with you trying to sell. Let them buy. If they do not buy, it's because either your offer is not appropriate and you can't win them all and you don't fit all the things, right? Or you haven't given enough value. One or the other. That's it, okay? If you've given enough value and your offer is appropriate, they will buy. You do not have to sell. They will ask you, what do I have to do next? And then they will thank you for solving their problem because you helped them buy. And you helped them buy because you fell in love with them in terms of having an engagement, and you fell in love with the concept of helping them with your mindset. It is as simple as that. That's why you should fall in love to make some money, okay? And finally, with clients, if you've got, okay? When you've got clients, sure, you've already won the battle. They are on your team. But fall in love with them again every single day, okay? Fall in love with them and continue to want to add surprises to them, because we all make mistakes in this world, okay? We all stuff things up, and sooner or later that will happen. And when it does happen, you've got to be prepared to accept the responsibility for your mistake and then tell them that and then move on. That's what happens with client relationships, right? You need to understand that. So there's my thoughts for you. I hope you got some value out of that. Fall in love and make some money was my message, okay? If you found it helpful, I'd love you to leave me a comment, and I'd love you to share the post and give me some likes, because that's just an ego thing, right? Doesn't mean anything. But thank you very much. And more important than anything else, thank you for sharing your time with me. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Tricia. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Dawes. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate you sharing your time with me. It's very special. All the best. God willing, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Bye for now.